Yeah, 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 man. Nets fans is the best fans. You already know what it is. Finna get into some content. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get into more of the reacting to what Kyrie said. Because, you know what I mean? I was there. I was watching the games. I was a content creator. So, from their perspective, I want to, you know what I'm saying, see what's going on. But, what's good with y'all, man? What's good with y'all? What's up with all of the Nets fans? You know what I mean? How y'all doing? You know what I mean? Alright. So,
So when James got traded for Ben, I don't think we knew the landscape of where Ben was at, right? I don't think we knew where Ben was at. So when that trade happened, it shocked a lot of people. It shocked me. I was talking to James one day. I'm like, shit, bro, we about to go win these championships. And it was like a day later, asked for a trade. I was like, oh, shoot, okay. Shit like that now. Okay, I can't be mad. I'm not gonna ever be mad at someone doing what's best for them. Right. And shout out to James. Right. And I've had my conversation with James and I told him, I said, bro, I understood completely. I understood completely what you were doing, man. I understood like you're in the middle of the season, you're unsure about what I got going on, you don't know what the next portion of your career is gonna look like. Things are going on, so you have your questions, what contract you're gonna get. Because we're all max deal players at that point. Me, James, and Kay are all max deal players. We are all worth whatever we're about to get paid, right? I'm gonna say that out loud. But when that happened and we got Ben, a lot more pressure started to come in on our franchise because now not only do we have this going on, but also we have a situation that Ben is dealing with where everybody is trying to micromanage the spun narrative. Like he's doing this, he's doing that. So it wasn't a fair trade at the outset, right? It was not at all. I didn't feel like that was a fair trade, but at the same time, when it happened, he went to our division. He went to Philly. So when James got traded for Ben, I don't think we knew the landscape of where Ben was at, right? I don't think we knew where Ben was at. So when that trade happened, it shocked a lot of people. It shocked me. I was talking to James one day. I'm like, shit, bro, we about to go win these championships. And it was like a day later, asked for a trade. I was like, oh, shoot, okay. Shit like that now. Okay, I can't be mad. I'm not gonna ever be mad at someone doing what's best for them. Right. And shout out to James. Right. And I've had my conversation with James and I told him, I said, bro, I understood completely. I understood completely what you were doing, man. I understood like you're in the middle of the season, you're unsure about what I got going on, you don't know what the next portion of your career is gonna look like. Things are going on, so you have your questions. What contract you gonna get? Because we're all max deal players at that point. Me, James, and Kay are all max deal players. We are all worth whatever we're about to get paid.
hold on. Yo, listen, bro. I'm gonna read this comment by JDJ. He said, according to that Jake Fisher on the Bleacher Report inside a notebook, the Nets have only offered Cam Thomas a 2-year deal with a team option at just above the mid-level exception. I mean, again, like I said, they got the upper hand in the situation. You know what I mean? Cam Thomas ain't got much leverage to negotiate. He could only, add to his value by competing at a high level when the season start. I mean, I think that's for the most part where he uncomfortable with. Like he ain't trying to hear that. He feel like there's players that he's better than that getting more money than him. You know what I'm saying? Like Duncan Robinson, these players that only are 3 and D players. And to the point, I don't think 3 and D players should get more money than shot creators. I think if you prioritize who get the bag in the NBA, you got to give certain play, and then it's the need. It depends if you can negotiate or not. You feel what I'm saying? But because sometimes you get what you negotiate, and maybe you know they figured they could wait it out, see what happens. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Lucky T in the chat, Brian in the chat. Brian said Cam over Ivy. Yeah, man. Yo, Cam Thomas is a better teammate, in my opinion, for the rookies. Just somebody who could catch and shoot more than the Jaden Ivey. He could, and that's the main thing. He has the chemistry for Majority Fernandez being there for a year, and he has the catch and shoot over Jaden Ivey. Other than that, you know what I mean? You can say what you want. I'm not taking nothing away from Jaden Ivey, but don't say he's the same scorer as Cam Thomas. That's not true. He need the ball in his hands, and by him needing the ball in his hands, look at his percentage rate. Look at Jaden Ivey's percentage rate on how much he got the ball, and tell me that he's a good thing for the Brooklyn Nets. He not. He averaged 5 assists. He's gonna take the ball out of Yago hands, Trey Ori hands. He's gonna take the ball out of their hands. The difference between Cam Thomas and Jaden Ivey is when Cam Thomas get the ball, he's gonna be creating assists. For Yago and Traore and I mean I dare say I'm not even gonna say his name, but you know who he is. But case in point is I just feel like he's a better teammate for these rookies because of that. He got a better catch and shoot than Jaden Ivey, and Jaden Ivey need the ball more in his hands because he's already a facilitator. In his third season, that was his third season, going to his fourth season. He definitely trying to, you know what I'm saying, get some of those accolades, maybe an all-star. You know what I mean? The direction he want to go is, and who's to say that's the Brooklyn Nets want to go? We want to build a franchise around Jaden Ivey and MPJ. Y'all rather trade Cam Thomas to build around those two players? I don't, and the rookies. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like Ivy being here for 2 years, and then we decide if we keep him or not. I don't like it. I like Cam Thomas being the number one option. Him and MPJ like a 1-2 punch. Yeah, I want to see Yago and Danny Wolf. I want to see certain teammates play on the same team together. I want to see how they do it, how they hoop together. I want to see them as teammates run the pick and roll, run the driving kick, run the screen, run the fake handoff, run the dribble handoff, run these different plays with the one quick floppy, the other play me and Ice was looking at the other day. Run these different plays, run sets, run three screens so one player could get open like the quick floppy play. Run these different plays. Do that. Make sure that not only are you adding talent to the team or keeping talent on the team, and you know what I'm saying? You do that and build with chemistry. I don't want to hear chemistry isn't important. Chemistry is more important than a lot. A lot of these teams that try to get assembled in 1 year, the core of the OKC, the Thunder, I'm using them an example because they just won the championship. Their core been together for a good 2-3 years, 3-4 years. This is the difference. They done them won together and lost together, went to the playoffs together, lost, came back, and then won. You never know what can happen. Well, the Jaden Ivey going to change the direction of this team, put us in a situation where that draft pick next year won't mean nothing to the Brooklyn Nets. And how many of y'all even comfortable doing that? How many of y'all even comfortable not competing and going into the draft? You know what I mean? Y'all making it seem like it's one option. We miss big to just to maybe the general consensus. Nets fans feel like that, but I don't feel like that. I feel like wait and see. I ain't tripping. I want to see what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, for us to ignore the national talent over the international talent, that's a problem. Just thinking it's okay to just replace players like you could get that. You cannot get Cam Thomas scoring from Jaden Ivey. That's y'all know Jaden Ivey from getting game winners. Like what we talking about, bro? What we talking about? Oh, and I heard he responded to Zach Lowe too. I heard he responded to Zach Lowe. Or I mean, Zach Lowe responded back to him. Or nah, bro. I'm not gonna be talking about Kyrie forever. Ice, bro. This dude, he don't play on the team. You know what I'm saying? He don't play on the team, bro. And it's low. You know, the volume is low. Look like yeah. See, he lost confidence when Ime went to the other team. Like you know what I mean? He talking about he the best duo. Y'all not the best duo, bro. Y'all got good teammates. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't playing pick and rolls, picking pops. Y'all wasn't doing pick. Y'all wasn't doing none of that shit. KD and Kyrie was not playing together as teammates. They both did their thing, but they wasn't on a duo type of level where they was just so great together. No, it was like they had a chemistry on who take turns to score the ball, but they wasn't scoring together. It wasn't running pick and rolls together. It wasn't doing none of that, bro. So yeah, I ain't going off topic, man. It's over with them. You know what I mean? They're not on the team. I respect KD and Kyrie. I respect them, but you know, I heard what he had to say, and I don't particularly like it. You know what I'm saying? I you know, I because the thing is, y'all couldn't get the coach right, and just picking a new coach to compete with y'all fumbled that. Y'all fumbled that because it seemed like KD and Kyrie had you know to say on who the next coach is going to be. Sean Marks let him decide. I guess it was a good business decision or whatever, but that's what it seemed like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What up, Ice?
Ain't nothing. Chilling. You already know.
Yeah.
And we'll be back with more after Breezy returns. Yo,
Yo.
yo.
Yeah, my fault, man. Yo, I gotta fix my laptop, man, because every time I touch the phone, shit's so delicate, man. Like, damn.
Yeah, nah, I'm on my phone too because my laptop be acting up for some reason. StreamYard on my laptop be buffering so much, and then I go on
Mhm.
the phone and it'd be fine. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, like this is, but y'all see, I'm got the laptop, but the audio is no good, so I could still pull up the graphics, but I usually, was able to use the laptop mic. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. I'm about to upgrade the equipment and all of that. You know what I mean? Like any money that I get, like if I start getting money from the 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna put it right back into like building the equipment up. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I just want the quality to be good. Word. Shout out to Leaf. Shout out to everything. Brooklyn Nets John. Shout out to Brooklyn LM. We got Ice on the panel with us. Yo, but uh what you thought about what did you hear what Kyrie said? Ice? Was you in the chat when
Yeah, yeah, I heard.
what you thought about what he said?
It's a lot. It was a lot going on. He said the Ben trade wasn't fair because they didn't know where Ben was at, and that's the only thing they, from his point, right? Getting Ben back for Harden, it wasn't really a good trade because Ben wasn't healthy, and then nobody knew that. You know what I'm saying? And he said, well, they knew, but they didn't know to the extent where, you know what I'm saying, the dude leg's gonna go numb, he's gonna have to go get surgery and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know. So to that extent, like, yeah, in that situation, it was messed up. They had too much going on at the time, anyways. Everybody going left, right, up, down. You know what I'm saying? Hitting Sonic, Sonic codes, cheat codes, and you know what I'm saying? It wasn't going right. So it is what it is, man. That was just a blown opportunity for all three of them guys to do big things for the Nets. You know what I mean? That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I feel like he always wanted to get the Maury, but he couldn't do it because it would have looked like collusion. And also at the end of the day, it was Nash leaning on stars to win, and with no coaching adamant. You know what I mean? Even in his own soliloquy, said he didn't get to do what he wanted to do as a coach, and that was just terrible for me to hear as a fan. Like what? So, but again, not to be long winded, we're gonna go to Leaf. Uh, I heard, I don't know if it was this, but I heard Kyrie said that him and KD was the best duo I disagree with that, bro. I think it was two talented players on one team, but as a duo, not so much. But how you feel about them being a duo on the Nets?
I mean, the shit is irrelevant now. I mean, like I don't even want to go back to that time, bro. Like I'm still trying to find solutions because at the end of the day, it's up to our franchise, bro, to turn the corner so we could put this KD Kyrie shit to bed once and for all. The Oklahoma City Thunder, bro, like just this past year just erase the stench of what they did in 2012 and the era that they had Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook and James Harden now, and we're trying to do the same with having almost the same three niggas, bro. The only difference was we had Kyrie. That's what we trying to erase, bro. Like I'm trying to figure out solutions to get this shit right, bro. Like I'm basically putting myself in my own GMO. Fuck the front office, man. Fuck everybody that think about what could have happened, bro. Like with Kyrie and I don't listen. Don't matter what this nigga Kyrie said, bro. Like, listen. At the end of the day, we all know what happened. I'm not blaming you for how it happened. Listen, we could blame whoever. I'm just trying to find a fucking big ass mop so we could clean this shit up, bro. Like, cause right now it's a bunch of doodoo and a bunch of waste on the middle of our goddamn floor. It ain't on Kyrie. It ain't on Kyrie floor because Kyrie got a championship. It ain't on KD floor because he got a championship. James Harden, he's been a playoff choker. And he always will be. So I'm not worried about that. We gotta clean this shit up. Whatever them niggas do, bro, I don't care about these 2010s niggas no more. Bye. Get out. Get out the league. I don't want to see you no more. You was cold back then. Now I don't want to see you no more. I want to move on. And I know how to move on, bro. I got in my mind what I want, bro. And once it happened, bro, that's when I'm gonna start co-signing and telling everybody, see what happens when you listen to Leaf? Winning.
Bruh.
Or pass the ball.
Uh, Everything Brooklyn Nets John also on the panel. Shout out to Lee 4788. Threw his handle in the chat. Y'all can subscribe to him there. Shout out to everything Brooklyn Nets John. Talk to us, man. To the conversation of a duo. What I was trying to more get to was that's they got assists because of each other being teammates. Because of pick and rolls, pick and pops. You could put two talented players on a team like a Jaden Ivey and MPJ. If they ain't got no chemistry, if they don't build no chemistry, and again, it would be two talented players on a team, but that don't make them a good duo. You see what I mean?
Yeah, it's good to be here, by the way. Listen, it's unfortunate what has happened the last few years in Brooklyn's history. Like, it's crazy to think with even all that chaos happening that team even looked like a championship contender at different points because from behind the scenes, it looked like none of these guys want to be around each other. So, and it's unfortunate that we're not even building anything right now. Listen, it's fine having Jordy, a guy who cares about discipline, a system, and all that, but you need the pieces. The problem is we have all these playmakers, but you got no alphas. And I know it's team basketball first and foremost, but you're not going to
So
win
you don't think
championships.
Cam Thomas is a scoring alpha?
I know he wants to be. I think we all know he wants to be. The
Oh
unfortunate
no, but
problem is
the personnel on this team with everybody that's on the roster, he is the scoring alpha, is what I'm saying. Do you agree with that?
I agree that he is probably the best scorer in this team. The only problem is he can't run the point. At the end of the day, Cam Thomas is not
You
going to be
don't
the
have
number
to
one
run the
guy just
point,
being the
bro.
scorer. Well,
But
that's why his
but
breeze,
hold
breeze.
on, but that's you don't think that's you don't think that's why would that be fair to say when he's not? I mean, we just got 3 point guards, bro.
Yeah,
Like
but they did that. They did that purposely because they don't want Cam to be that guy. They don't want Cam to
so
expand his
what?
game like
So
that. They
what?
just want to
So
breeze.
hold on.
Breeze.
So what do you think about John? What do you think about his off ball game? You don't think he could? That's what I'm saying. I think his off ball game is better than Jaden Ivey off ball game, and playmakers benefit with play teammates that have off ball skills like Richard Hamilton, like Reggie Miller, like Curry. You know what I'm saying? Where they could run around and catch and shoot. And again, I'm not saying Cam Thomas the fastest player, but he not. But if he get above that 3 point line, you gotta respect his pump fake. If you don't, you get benched.
Right. And we all admit that last year he showed some improvements as far as playmaking goes. Just being a primary guard, he was a lot more efficient. He was moving quicker. Like he looked a lot better. The unfortunate problem is with the injuries and all that. And now financially, he wants to get the $30 million. His organization will never see that that him being worth that money. And to him, he's like, well, I'm the best scorer on the team. I may not be a combo guard, may not be the number one or the two, but I'm still the best guy right now. It's just unfortunate the circumstances, like Ice keeps talking about with the market.
But
The
he is the
market.
one and two. Hold on, what you mean? Cam Thomas is clearly the one and two. Like, what do you mean? Like, where you going with this?
At the end of the day, we
Who's
don't
the
know
one? No,
what
no,
is. Wait,
no. Don't. That's a blanket statement. I want to know where you going with that. Who will be the one and two
because
over Cam Thomas on this team?
Breeze, right now he is because we don't have anything on this team right now. We're basically trying to create
Bro,
something out of
you
nothing right
dancing,
now.
man. This is you dancing right now.
No, because you want me to make you happy, Breeze, by
No,
giving you what you
make
want. I'm
how,
being real with you right now. You want me to say,
bro.
okay, it's
No,
the number
I'm
one
going.
guy.
Listen,
Okay,
what I'm
yes, he's
saying is,
right now because he's the best
listen,
scorer, but it doesn't mean he's
listen.
gonna
I'm not
be
saying.
once we add pieces, Breeze. You want me
Listen,
to give
what?
you?
But listen, I'm not. I'm talking about the current roster construction. I'm not going away from anything to try to move the goalpost to make my point. I'm saying with the current roster, the way it is, Cam Thomas is the number one option. We've seen Cam Thomas be implemented as a number three option behind Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson with Spencer Dinwiddie was the point guard. My point is that they did utilize Cam Thomas when he wasn't the number one option, and those first quarters were terrible, horrendous. We wasn't getting close to 30 points per quarter, and that's my whole point. When you put Cam Thomas in a situation where he's not the number one option, from what I've seen in recent history, he's put the team is in a situation where they had to score with him being the third option on the team, and they was fighting to get 27 points, let alone 30. So that being said, when you start him, they was getting to 29, 28, 29, even over 30 sometimes. You've seen it getting better. And that's very important. If you know Nets, if you're a Nets fan, you know they are notorious for losing in the first quarter, and we be mad that we happen to climb back in the game more times than not. And I'm saying Cam Thomas gives us that advantage. And also, Jaden Ivey takes the ball out of Yegor's hands. He averaged 5 assists. This isn't about making me happy. We just talking basketball. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the truth. Cam Thomas is a better off-ball basketball player than Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey needs the ball more than a Cam Thomas, with him in the stats back in my soliloquy with him averaging 5 assists. And that being said, would take the ball out of Yegor Trayor hands at the point guard position. And I don't like that. At least you
No,
know that Cam Thomas wouldn't take the point guard position over Yegor and Trayor. You know what I'm saying? Or even, you know what I mean? The other guy, you know what I mean? Ben
yeah.
Saraf, you know what I'm
That's not
saying? So that's what
necessarily
I'm saying. That like,
it's it's
just
it,
look at it
it's
like
a
that.
it's an unfortunate situation, Breeze, because we have 5 rookies. They need playing time to develop, and everybody now these recent reports are like Michael Porter Jr. could be the leading scorer of the NBA. It's like it's a bunch of BS. This team doesn't even have an offensive system yet. It's really good if Cam is on this team. It's gonna be him, Michael Porter Jr. just getting shots off with these guys dishing out some assists here or there. But there's gonna be no complete offensive system at all this year, and it's just unfortunate that Cam, like you just talked about the report that I saw where they offer him a 2-year deal around the mid-level exception. Like Cam, if he doesn't want to take that $10 to $14 million for 2 years, then he's probably going to be signed and trained, and it's an unfortunate situation. But this is why the problem with this organization, I want to talk a bit about the Kyrie thing, is they don't know how to communicate with anybody. When this guy Kyrie signed, he says they didn't even talk to me. They wanted KD, and they wanted me to just come along for the ride. Like, this is my problem with the organization, Sean and Joe. You should have known who you were getting into bed with when Kyrie, who had 2 bad stints with the Cavs and Boston, you should have known you had to placate this guy and make him feel like he was a huge part of this. Because look what Kyrie did when he came in. I don't need a coach. I don't need a GM. I'm the boss. Katie's the boss. Like, you should have known that you had to make this guy feel somewhat important to overall plan. Because Kyrie's problem is he wants to be the number one guy always. He never wants anybody else to have that grace. He wants to be
Listen,
appreciated
but
for being a
when I
part-timer. Like, it's an
listen,
unfortunate situation. That's what the
listen.
organization did. And now you fast forward to the Cam Thomas situation, Breeze.
But John, hold on. With that, what I'm trying to tell you with that situation, what people ignore about that, the whole big media, the whole narrative of Kyrie missing all of these games, put the pressure was on Kyrie Irving to come back because KD found the way to win with the rookies, and we had a 21-9 record before he got hurt. When he seen that record, basically saying we were 7-3 and 3 weeks, every 10 games, we were 7-3. I'm watching the games. I'm a content creator. This is how it played out. Kyrie Irving's putting picture up on social media with some sneakers like he about to come back. By then, I'm already bought in as a fan that Cam Thomas we don't even need Kyrie Irving. Yeah, there's content where y'all can see in those 30 games where I'm saying, I don't even know if we need Kyrie Irving because the way Cam Thomas and KD was playing together. Not even just Cam Thomas, it was DDJ too. It was DDJ, Cam Thomas. It was mainly DDJ and Cam Thomas, bro. They were next to Kevin Durant. They was hooping, bro.
And I was trying to make the point last night when Kyrie put out that surprising story that when it was that summer when they put the mandate in and he didn't want to take the vaccine, and he basically said, "Oh, trade me, get me the hell out of here." This is when James, KD, Sean, and Joshua came into the room and said, "Listen, we can still move forward as a group. You and James, you guys are killing it, crushing it. Kyrie won't be a part of this. We have Cam Thomas, a young uprising kid. He could have potentially been a third option next to KD and James with these young guys. Like I wish James and KD would have came together and said, you know what? We're both really good. We can still run this East. We don't need Kyrie Irving, like you're saying, Breeze. But the sad thing is, KD was always going to be loyal to Kyrie no matter what the hell he did. And James is like, I'm not carrying this team by myself. So get me the hell out of here. It's unfortunate that none of these guys could be adults and communicate with each other to move forward because they all wanted to just be the number one guy and nothing in between. And I feel bad for Cam Thomas because I think realistically, Cam could have played as the third guy behind James and KD. Hell, if we would have traded Claxton for Pascal Siakam, imagine a rotation of James, Thomas, KD, Pascal, and I guess Ben Simmons at the 5 or something like that. I don't know, but that would have been better than whatever the hell they were trying to do with Spencer Dinwiddie and Doe. But it's just unfortunate that this organization didn't know what they were getting themselves into with this KD Kyrie stuff. The fact that Kyrie wasn't happy from jump and the fact that we even looked like a championship team when this guy wanted nothing to do with us, it's just sad and unfortunate. Now with this Cam Thomas situation, they can't even negotiate a short-term deal with this kid. Like, we're never going to be a serious organization unless everybody's bought in and can communicate like adults. Like, I don't even know what we're trying to build right now. Yeah, we're trying to do a Euro-style positionless basketball thing, but you need options. You need a number one, you need a number two, and you need depth. And if we can't figure that out and you let Cam go for nothing, you're kind of screwed.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I do the content, man. I'm not waiting for them to figure it out. I'm gonna either figure it out with other Nets fans or by myself because I do the work, not on and off the camera. I only said that to say, bro, we can't leave it to Sean Marks based on what we seen prior, bro. We have to have a say. The fans have to step up and speak up and say something. You know what I mean? You gotta have a voices with the fans because if not, you know what I'm saying? It's just going to be the big media narrative. And the difference between the fans and the media is that the fans watch the game 82 of the games, bro. There's fans that watch 82 out of 82 games or close to it. Content creators that do that, so they could be their opinion and you know what I'm saying, should be emphasized on what's really going on with these players on the team, opposed to Nets fans getting their content from big media and going off of what they say, then creating content. You know, look at what we see through our eyes because you know what I'm saying? We paying more attention. They paying attention to 30 teams. We paying attention. Well, I won't speak to everybody, but me, I won't say I'm paying attention to only one team, but you get what I'm trying to say. You feel what I'm saying? So
I get what you're saying. And before I pass the rock to Elam, I just want to say it's unfortunate the situation that happened with Cam, but if this is a 2-year deal, I really do hope he takes it because at least we can figure out his future in the next year or two. Because really now, this 2026 draft coming up, I know he's doing his research on it. It's really important for the Nets and the whole future for the next 5 years and after that decade. Like, you got to get a top guy the following draft to even justify if you keep Cam or not, because you need that number one guy. And I know, Breeze, you think Cam could be that guy, but this organization, they're never going to give him that, unfortunately. So whoever this guy is you draft next year, if he ain't a number one guy you can build organically, you got to go back out into the market, which I know nobody wants to do. It hasn't worked for the Nets, but this is why this year, with whatever they're trying to build, you've got to get it right in the draft next year. And I hope if Cam is a part of it, whether he's a second, third, or sixth man on this team, I know he'll do his role as far as offensively goes. I just hope this year, not this year, but next year and the following really do start building something because you need that foundation before 2028, or else I don't know what this team is going to be in the East Conference that's pretty much up for grabs. But I'll pass the ball to Lee. Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's Brooklyn.
Elam.
Yeah. Yo.
Yeah. I was my
Yeah,
bad.
hold on. I wanted to ask you something from your perspective, bro. Just can you just inform the fans like how does the Spurs take care of their draft picks? Just from as a fan, from your perspective, like, do you see them taking care of it? Because the only kerfuffle that I've heard was Kawhi Leonard. Other than that, I haven't heard anything bad about the draft picks that they got. How you
I
feel about
mean,
that?
just some they had that failed. Josh Primo being one of them. Some they didn't keep. They drafted DeJounte Murray. He didn't stay. They had some misses, but realistically, their biggest success story is Duncan, Ginobili, and Tony. The big three, and they held on to those dudes for pretty much dang near their whole careers. So I mean, when it comes down to it, it's rare. We're in a different NBA where you don't see guys stay on their team for the long period of time. Steph might be the last living remnant of of loyalty in terms of staying on the team for most of his career, where he might retire a Golden State Warrior. Like it's rare to see that sort of loyalty in the NBA. Like a lot of guys is not staying on teams for their whole
So,
career.
so let me ask you this. And now that's true, but that rookie scale contract for the players that they draft, I feel like they take care of them. Dejounte Murray, they put him in an advantage situation because he wanted to compete and not tank for Wimpy. I remember that, and I'm saying
Yeah,
that to say they put him in a situation that behooves him. They, you know what I mean, just put him in a bad situation because they wanted to move on or they had different directions that they wanted to go from player franchise. Excuse me. You feel what I'm saying, Brooklyn LM? Like
I, ju- I think it's front
they
office
be taking
approach.
care of their draft picks, bro.
I think it's front office approach. Like Brian Wright, for what he's been doing so far, he's been, taking care of the guys, taking care of the rookies, getting them acclimated. Like I think it's just, and it's sad because Sean Marks comes from the Spurs family. You know what I'm saying? He's been over there. He's seen that system. He knows how it works. So for him, especially in 2015 when he came over here, I was like, yo, we might get some of that cooking over here in terms of how the organization is run. We might get some of that over here, but I
Nope.
guess it didn't spread. So it's just like at this point, I'm scared of how we gonna treat these rookies and these new players in the upcoming future. Like, are these you see these guys as potential championship players? And they got to go out there and prove it. It's not all on the front office. They got to go out there and show that they can be a piece to the championship team. But at the same time, it's like we seen Luca get dished out. You know what I'm saying? We seen these guys get dished out. I just don't know if they really have that in them to uh go and keep these guys solidified. I mean, you're struggling with signing Cam Thomas.
Right.
Like
Insane.
this is somebody that you guys you guys drafted this person. This is supposed to be somebody that you should lock up. You got Dayron, you got all these dudes. It doesn't make sense for you to just be struggling with trying to sign this guy who has improved, even if it is by little. He has improved. So I don't know, but we'll see. It's just, I mean, do y'all think that any of these guys will be on the championship team in the near
I think
future?
they got. I think they want this promise in Diego, to be honest, and
Yes.
Traore too. I think Traore, to me, he's a guy I want coming off my bench. I think Tyus Jones, but a better. I think he's one of those guys that are buying like a Ginobili. He's somebody that could be the six man of war type shit. Because my thing is, if he's the fastest guy in the league, he put himself in a situation to go against the second unit, and he already the fastest guy, bro. Let Yegor set the tone, bro. He's 6'8", bro. We got him with the lottery pick. You let him be the starting point guard. If Traore
Exactly.
could buy into being coming off of the bench, the pace that the Brooklyn Nets want to run, they're going to get it the same way. And the only difference between him and I won't say the only difference, but one of the big differences I think they want to focus on Traore is at being a good rebounding guard. And I'm saying that to say because if he's a good defensive rebounding guard, then he's the first one with the ball, and then he can like push the pace of the offense. And I think that's what, as far as how we can attack on offense for us to be a better team, you want to utilize Traore coming off the bench doing what I just said, but exactly what I just said. So
I
yeah,
agree with the six man.
I like them on the team. I don't see room for Ben Saraf to keep it real. I see room for Drake Powell coming off of the bench. You got Zaire playing a defender like Zaire, Drake Powell. They pests. Drake
That'll be
Powell can
fun.
learn from Zaire Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
there's a lot of good things that can happen with this roster. But go ahead, John. Then we're gonna get into this content. I want to hear what MPJ talking about.
Yeah,
It's only hold on. It's only 16 seconds. Hold on, John.
all right.
I'm not even gonna lie, they got me working probably as hard as I've ever worked, but I'm making progress. I'm excited, man. This is an amazing opportunity. The staff over here is great. They're getting me right already.
What you think about that, John? Then we're gonna go to
Yeah,
Ice.
Yeah, listen, I think it's interesting that Michael Porter Jr. is documenting the events. It was kind of nice to see more of the training facility because we really haven't seen that so much in all the documentaries. It was nice to just walk through and see kind of what it's all like. They really, I'll give it to the Brooklyn Nets. They've really built a really good, clean training system. And he said, "Oh, it's 2 courts, better than 1 court in Denver." Like, it's good to see that they do take care of their facilities because that's everything. That's where you do all the work. So I think it'll be interesting to see how Michael Porter Jr. does his first year. It's going to be an adjustment period. This guy is a third option, having to now be a first or second option. Like, it's going to take him at least a month to get acclimated to that new role. But I wish him the best in that. I hope he does help these young guys as far as just mentoring them and being another voice for them. And just get back to your Nolan Traore thing. I think a 6-man role is great for him. My problem with Nolan is he's quick, he's speedy, but if you have athletic, bigger players, they can easily stop him at the rim. You saw with his layup game, they were figuring him out with that. Like, it was good to do it once or twice, but a third or fourth or fifth time, they figure him out really quickly. He needs to develop a jump shot. I think all these guys need a jump shot. I think Danny Wolf was the only guy that really attempted jump shots, and his looked scary too, but they were fine. But I definitely think Nolan has a 6 minutes future. I think for
But
Wolf,
even and to kind of segue to Ice, because you know what I'm saying, I want to just keep going around the panel, bro. John, what I'm saying is, if he's really that fast, then he could develop a 1-2 pull up. He could learn that from Cam Thomas. Now, I know y'all think that I'm just trying to implement Cam Thomas in the conversation any chance I get, but the truth is that that's where I see it. I seen it with Schroeder too, but Schroeder not on the team. You know what I'm saying? And a player like Traore, you can draw fouls like that. You know what I mean? You could have a high IQ. Not to say I want to see him playing the ref whistle. I want to see him playing basketball. But at the end of the day, to him always getting to the rim and having to deal with defenders, maybe stop short. You know what I'm saying? Take that little pull up midi. And you can learn that from a Cam Thomas. That's what I'm saying. I found all of these different ways that Cam Thomas could be, all these different reasons on how Cam Thomas could be a good teammate for these rookies, not just leading a team as a number one option. I think that's more what I want the Nets fans to know is that he's going to be a great teammate to these rookies, not just the number one option is my focal point. But if you finish, John, just pass it to Ice.
Yeah, I agree with you, Breeze. And you even did a video on this a few weeks ago where you said that the mid-range game, they're kind of going away from it and they want everybody to just shoot threes, but you do need a mid-range game if you want to win those close quarters when the game is really down to those final seconds. And these young guys, they all definitely need a mid-range shot. But yeah, I just think I hope this first year they all get to work on the weaknesses and they get playing time, not just that 3 out of 5 are in the G League for long periods. I think they all need time to just really elevate their offensive games. And if Cam Thomas is a part of it, he's going to help give you a fighting chance in some games. But we'll see. Ice, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I missed most of the conversation though. You know what I'm saying? Where we at? We was talking about Cam Thomas last. I heard what you were saying with the market and all that. You know what I'm saying? Where we at?
I was just kind of talking about the offensive games of these young guys. Like, can they develop jump shots? Can Cam Thomas help them offensively elevate their games? But I want to get your thoughts on Michael Porter Jr. for a second, Ice. Like, his future, do you see him being a potential guy after his contract is up where they have the cap space to maybe bring him back? Or do you see him as like that big trade piece that they'll eventually dangle to try to get an upgrade? Like, is Michael Porter Jr. a part of the future? Or is he a stepping stone to the future? Like, what are your thoughts on his future?
I think it depends, right? It depends on how if they use him like they use Cam Johnson, because they like players like that. It's just can they get another Cam Johnson, another Michael Porter Jr. somewhere else? And I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can. Maybe there's another one in the draft. They passed up on Will Riley. So with Michael Porter Jr., it all depends on what he displays this season and maybe a part of next season. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I don't know, man, because I still think like y'all think I still think he's a 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? Max. I don't think he can work his way to a 1. I think the injury like Ben set him back, and he's limited. Even though he does a lot of things on the court, I still think he's limited on his game of what he actually can do. And if he tries to, you know what I'm saying, overcompensate and do things like, you know what I'm saying, like Ben would try, and then you end up having to reset yourself again with the workouts. I think he needs to stay within his what's the word, his role. Stay within his
Right.
role of catch and shoot, create a little bit, put back dunks. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him as somebody that's scoring like 28 points or 25. I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? I see him just
Yeah.
like Cam Johnson, 18, maybe 20. You know what I mean? Some people think he could score more. I just don't see it. He would have to you know what I'm saying? He would have to show me something because I still think he's, even though, you know, and people think Cam is better and his offense is a little bit, he got more and he was being held back over there. I'm to the point where I don't think so because, you know, Murray and Joker's 1 and 2. And if he could be any better than what he was, then he would be, you know what I'm saying, 1 and 2. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I think Jamal was better for what they needed, and that pushed them back. And then Aaron Gordon. So on this team, we don't have none of those. You know what I'm saying? Just him and Cam. So it all depends.
The shot
Right.
Yeah.
selection might be
And
split.
another thing is my with MPJ, it's like you're in the Eastern Conference, bro, and your role got to change with the rebounding too. You know, I don't think the Brooklyn Nets is wrong for asking a 6'10". Even if you're a small forward, you're still 6'10".
I
We're
think you're a
not
better
wrong for
rebounder
asking
than
you to
Cam
get six to
Johnson, though.
eight rebounds, bro. We need you to get 7 rebounds, something. Bro. Like you gotta up your rebounds. If you got 5 rebounds last season, this season you gotta get 7 or more.
Right.
Depends on where he playing. I mean, if you put him are you gonna put him at the 4 or the 3?
I'm gonna put
Right.
him in the best position for a 6'10" dude to rebound. You know, I'm gonna ask him, can he go? Like, yo, seriously, is this gonna be bad for your physically, or you don't? You know what I mean? If you feel like it's too much, then no. But realistically, I'm gonna at least want him to chase down the rebound or get offensive rebound, something. I need some
Right.
kind of rebounds, offensive or defensive.
Right. And Ice, I had a small question for you. So it seems like they might start Zaire at the 3 and Porter at the 4. So is Danny Wolf going to be a backup 4, and is he going to play with Dayron Sharp? Are they actually going to play in the backup minutes together, or is one of them going to have to be a big? Like, I still don't know what Danny Wolf's role is going to be, because if Porter's the 4, is Wolf going to be the backup 4 and Dayron the backup 5?
I think they're gonna use Danny to the best of his advantages. I think they're gonna plug him in at both and see how he pans out. Because right now he's too, like Bobby saying, he's too soft to play the 5. He can play the 5, but you're not gonna get, you know what I'm saying, the best
Right.
out of him, especially defensively. Offensively, you might, because he's offensively talented. 4, when he plays the 4, it's gonna be, he gonna have favorable matchups, but again, defensively, he may get beat. He may be too slow, but I think at the 4 he has to be less physical. At the 5 he has to be more, you know what I'm saying, more physical. Even though he's 7 foot 250, he just doesn't have the physicality. So I think they're gonna move him back and forth. They give him some minutes with Dayron, and hopefully they use him like they did at Michigan. Let him run the offense and run pick and roll with Dayron and see how that works out. Because with him and Golden Michigan, that was like music. You know what I'm saying? Everything is from
No,
his
no,
smooth.
I don't know what you say. Break it down for me. When was he running the pick and roll in Michigan? Well, who he was running the pick and roll with? A point guard? What happened?
Nah, he was running pick and roll with a center. They had 2 7-footers. Him, Danny Wolf 7 foot, and the 7-foot center they had at Michigan. So Danny was saying that I forget the other school was at. They was doubting Danny until he went to Michigan. When he got to Michigan and they put the ball in his hands and it was like, oh, they got 2 centers, it's not gonna work. Danny showcased his offense, and that changed everything. Like pick and roll, he maneuvering like a point guard through pick and roll. You know what I'm saying? Like how you see the guards slow down or guards cut through when the center slash to the rim. He'll do that, and he'll throw the lob. He'll throw a floater. He'll get a layup. He'll do a post move fade.
So he was doing what Jokic was doing on Denver, basically.
Somewhat, but more like a point guard. Like if you like how you see Cam Thomas and Dennis Schroeder maneuver through a pick and roll. Well, that's how Danny operates if he has a guy who can set a solid pick for him.
So hold on, MPJ was running. Oh, so you talking about Danny Wolf or MPJ?
Danny Wolf.
Okay, so Danny Wolf, you saying that he could do this inside the 3-point line? He running his offense inside the 3-point line, not above the 3-point line.
Nah, Danny runs. If he's on ball, he runs his offense inside the 3-point line. You know what I'm saying? Until they need him to be on it. Yeah, he runs. He can do floaters. He can do post move. He can throw lobs. You know what I'm saying? Danny can do all that inside the 3-point line, but you got to put the ball in his hands, and you got to be able to set a solid screen for him so he can maneuver, and he can pass out. He passes out of that too.
He did a midi too in summer league. I saw it twice. That was interesting. Could he become maybe a LaMarcus Aldridge Lopez type big? That could be something interesting too.
Yeah, Danny offense is nice. He could fade away the one leg fades, you know what I'm saying? Post fades, turn fades, you know what I'm saying? Danny could do a lot of stuff. It's just that he needs like all those guys that we drafted needs pick and roll, but I think he's one of the best that to maneuver inside the pick and roll. You know what I'm saying? Like he could snake the pick and roll, go right, left, find the open wing guy, pass it. He could do a lot of stuff. He got a high IQ for that.
All right. That's fair to say. Yo, man, I'm a cut this one short. You know what I'm saying? I'm out to maneuver. Ice, you going live?
I might go live today. I'm not sure. I might later.
All right, just let me know, Brody. You know
All
I'm gonna
right.
follow John. I know John gonna be on X was going at somebody or something about the Brooklyn
Yeah,
Nets.
come at me, man. I'm just ready to put on a show.
Yeah, shout to Brooklyn LM low key stirring the pot on X. I'll be seeing you out there, man. I'll be seeing what you be doing, bro. You ain't low Brooklyn LM. I'll be seeing you. Or but yeah, shout out to Nets fans. We the best fans. We're gonna be back with more content really soon. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace, y'all.
All right.